Hey, and welcome to the local mobile marketing course. And in this specific course, I'm going to be focusing on QR codes. This is video number one. It's the introduction to the local mobile explosion with QR codes. And the first thing I want to talk about is the basics. What are they? Well, QR codes are, as you can see, it's like a square barcode. And with this square barcode, essentially what they are is they're a barcode that somebody has a smartphone and they can scan it with their smartphone, and it connects their smartphone to a web page, to a video, to a piece of content that you would normally find online. So if you imagine, it's pretty much a bridge between the offline world and the online world. Now, people online use QR codes as well, so that's not always the case. But for the most part, QR codes started as a way for people to scan their smartphone using, whether it's scanning for a specific purpose at a store, on a coupon or anything like that. Essentially what QR codes is, you scan it and you get the content. That's it. Why do you need them? Well, QR codes, like I said earlier, it bridges the gap between the offline world and the online world. So while the online world uses them, it would be smart if you run a local business to use them. Because if you want your customers, your prospects, and so forth to, number one, get an idea of a lot more of your product, what you provide, what your service is all about, and you may not be able to put, let's say, for example, you're a realtor and you put a barcode on the house that you're selling. People that go to the house may not be able to see the inside of the house. They might be able to see the outside of the house, but without a realtor, they can't get the key to get into the inside the house. So guess what? You put a QR code on the outside. They can scan it with their iPhone, with their Android phone, their smartphone, whatever smartphone that they have that's compatible with QR codes, scan it and get the information, get videos, get pictures, and so forth. So a QR code can hold a lot of information. It can hold a website. If it can hold a website or a landing page or some sort of URL, then imagine the possibilities there. So QR codes allow you to engage and allow you to build curiosity for your product and basically pre-sell your product. So with that said, let's talk about a quick overview of this video course. That way you get an idea of how the system works and what you're going to get into, and then we're going to talk about tools that you need, and then the video after that will actually get into the meat of the video course. So video number one is, of course, this video. Video number two, we're going to talk about how to avoid crippling your QR code campaign. And QR code stands for quick response codes. We're not going to get too much into the technical part of it just because I want to keep it simple. So video number two, we're going to talk about what you should avoid doing. There's a few things that you need to avoid doing so that you can set yourself up for success. Video number three, we're going to talk about what value will you give, to kind of give you an idea and kind of give you brainstorming ideas so that you can understand what are you going to provide to that customer or to that prospect. What kind of incentive are you going to give them to scan your code? Is it a coupon? Is it a free gift? Is it a free video? Something of value? Video number four, we're going to talk about mobile-friendly landing pages. Let's say, for example, somebody scans your QR code and they're sent to your website, but your website is not mobile friendly. It's laptop and desktop and Macintosh friendly, but it's not mobile friendly, so people cannot really see it. If it's not mobile friendly, then guess what? You've gotten the person to scan the QR code. That's one thing. The fact that you got the person to scan the code, that's already in itself powerful. You've given somebody something that they're interested in. But if you send them to a unfriendly page where they can't view the video because it's in Flash and it's not on YouTube or something like that, then guess what? People are just going to leave. So you want to make sure every step of the way is converting. Video number 5, we're going to talk about QR code tactics. So this area, we're kind of getting into the meat of everything, and we're going to kind of show you how to implement QR codes, how to engage your customers. So in this specific video, we're going to talk about 3 different ways of engaging your customers, how to build curiosity, how to use QR codes to answer their questions, and so forth. Video number 6, we're going to talk about QR code tactics in relation to video tours. How can we get somebody to scan a QR code and then get them from that QR code to some sort of video tour or a video that shows more about your products or more about your services? Video number 7 is QR code list building. If you don't already know, building your list of clients, customers, or prospects is very, very important. You build your relationship, every time somebody steps into your local business, into your online business, into your membership site, your online site, it's a way to keep that line of communication open. You keep that line of communication open, you build that relationship. If you close that line of communication, then you pretty much essentially say bye to the customer, they forget about you, and that's it. So the whole idea here is how can we use QR codes to build your list and focus on the mobile marketing side, because with that you're able to contact your customers a very, very quick way. Let's talk about the tools that you need. Of course, you're going to need a smartphone or access to one, because in order to test to ensure that your QR code and everything, your sales funnel and your conversions work, you need to have a smartphone to test it out. Because the worst case scenario that you can do, set up a QR code, assume that everything works, and just leave it and it's not working. So you want to make sure you test it out. You're going to need the internet, and we're going to stick with a lot of free tools. I'm going to kind of steer away from tools that cost money. There are some tools that will cost money, but I'm going to try to keep it to a low cost. And last tools you need, you're going to need some money depending on what content you will provide. Sometimes you may not need to have money invested. But let's say, for example, that you want a website, you're going to need a domain name, you're going to need web hosting, and so forth. I'm not really going to cover that, but basic bottom line, you're going to need some money, like $10, $20. But you won't have to. I'm going to give you the options. So you can go this route, the free route, or you can go another option, which is a faster route that does cost a little bit of money. So with that said, let's move on to video number 2. Let's talk about how to avoid crippling your QR code marketing campaign.